All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash, the honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Lord's elect, starting with the 144,000 of the nation of Israel. This is a Ratazah from the Great Millstone GMS Atlanta camp with another quick video. And just want to hit this post that I found on social media the other day as I was scrolling through, and different things pop up on your page or your feed. And this particular one stood out, seeing how they got another a so-called another new virus that then just popped out of nowhere, and we're noticing a trend, or we've been noticing a trend over the years, and this post shows that. All right, and it says every 6 years a pandemic, and I believe the word pandemic means all people. Pan means all, demic goes back to people. Like you got a demographic. Demographic is like people, so pandemic is all people. These are the so-called viruses or so-called diseases, or as the scriptures call it, a pestilence that affect all people. Now we call it a plandemic. As you see in the title, I think I worded it is another plandemic in the works, I think was the title I put. Yeah, because why we say that is because these things are planned. They're planned, they're staged, they're thought out. They have roundtable meetings and decide what virus they're going to unleash on the people. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was mentioned in the Epstein files, which is totally just vanished from the media and the headlines. They don't even talk about that no more. I mean, for obvious reasons, because they're being fully exposed with that. But I think in the Epstein files, this nigga Jeffrey Epstein was emailing somebody. I don't know if it was Bill Gates or Fauci, somebody he was emailing with. But basically, they just came out and said, "Yeah, we're gonna release the COVID or the C-19. We're gonna do this." It was all set up and planned, man. So it's like every 6 years is a new virus that comes out. As you see here, right? It started from 2002 to currently, right, 2026. You have something called the hantavirus. So yeah, so we're not, don't be surprised if they start doing the quarantines again, and the lockdowns like how they did in 2020. Lockdowns and staying 6 feet apart and wear your mask. You can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, now that I see something now where they're already trying to create a new jab, a new jump shot. You basically know how that went last time. Certain companies or businesses have required their workers to, take that. If they didn't, they would, get fired or whatever. So, this is all, again, the point is, it's all planned and set up, man. And people are noticing the trend, right? It's like it shows on this post here. So I just want to get a couple of scriptures on that. And first one I got here is 2 Corinthians 2:11, right? Common scripture that we bring out concerning Esau's wickedness and his plots that he got, planned, what he set forth to do, right? 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Right? Satan, which is a spiritual demon Satan, but he has a counterpart on the earth, or a figurehead on the earth, which is the so-called white man, beginning with the super rich elite. All right? They operate through the spirit of Satan, and they're not going to have the leverage over us because the Lord basically made us aware of what's happening, right? We're the children of light. So we basically could see his BS, man. We could see his we can basically tell you his plans before he actually even goes forth with it. right? You read this in the NLT version. Really, you could read pretty much any one of these versions of the scriptures, but the NLT most common when we use, right? This is the NLT version, 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. Right. And that's part of his evil schemes, man. To unleash these damn lab engineered or lab created viruses and diseases on the people. All right. Why? Because he's wicked. He's diabolical. The scriptures say that he is as death. You know, we know his one of his goals, so to speak, is to try to chop down the population. You know, so he releases these pre-planned lab bioengineered viruses, man. Okay, like you showed on that list, whether it was Ebola, the SARS, most recently the C-19. You know, it's all a trial, it's all a test, it's all one big hoax, one big lie. It's all set up, man. But the Lord would not, Satan's not going to be able to get the leverage over us because the Lord has fully exposed them. You see? So yeah, he's not going to be able to outsmart us with his BS no more, man. The Lord made us fully aware of what's happening, and really the world in general is waking up. That spirit is the spirit of truth. It's hitting everybody. People are like, man, nah, man, this is some BS, and people are starting to wake up now. Now let me go from there. I think I had it up earlier prior to the video, but Matthew 24:7, where the Lord prophesied that there would be pestilences. These would be a part of the signs of his coming. All right. This is Matthew 24. I just jumped to the point for time's sake. Matthew 24:7. This is, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Yeah, you see that currently. All right. With these different nations, these countries, there's friction amongst each other. They're at war. They're at variance. That's a sign of the Lord's coming. It says, and there shall be famines, which is a food shortage. And the point is right here, it says, and pestilences, which is basically another word for a plague. All right. So going back to that little graph or a graphic that they put together on this page here, these are all pestilences. All right. Swine flu, as I mentioned. Now we get the hantavirus. Right. These are all signs that let you know the Lord is close. All right. So it says, and there should be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Yeah, in various places throughout the earth. All these things are happening. Right. Famines. It's going to be a famine, food shortage. Food's going to be rationed out. You're going to have the various plagues spread out. People dying of various sicknesses. Earthquakes happening left and right. And this is all. These are the beginning of sorrows. So this is only the beginning. It's going. We always say that it's going to get worse. And that each of these pestilences that Esau put out it's only a trial run for the next one that he does. Right. So he saw what happened with the C-19. What was that, 6 years ago? So he's going to take that data, or what information he gathered from that, and you're going to apply it to this new one. All right, the hantavirus. So we'll be keeping an eye on it, but brothers not going to be too surprised if they start. Hey, sorry, we got to start locking down again. We got to lock down. You got to start. You got to stand 6 feet apart. Wear your mask. Take the jab. Same thing all over again, man. You see? So, yeah, essentially Esau, so-called white man, is a one-trick pony. And he just does the same thing over and over and over and over. That's why it's easy to, see what this man is doing. It's easy because he does the same thing every single time, right? He's a one-trick pony, man. And through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the Lord is basically, tapped us into where his lies and his, lies and his deception, it ain't working. Okay, and people in general are waking up. So yeah, it's just a quick one. Just wanted to put a couple of scriptures out there. It's really just posing a question. All right, is another plandemic in the works? All right, plandemic, because why? It's planned out. You see it's a trend every 6 years, man. So yeah, man. All right, I'm sign off there. Lord, you edified and informed by this video. Giving no praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Wadash, and Lord willing, to the next video, I'm gonna say Shalom.